So after 177 years, Schlitz is going away. And as I read some of these articles that are just coming out, there's this interesting little marketing story in there that I wanted to share, and maybe you guys would find interesting too. So what happened is that in the 1970s, there is this ad campaign that is being attributed to the start of the fall of Schlitz. And according to the internet, there is this, it was referred to as the "Drink Schlitz or I'll Kill You" commercials. And I saw this, I was like, what are these ads? And what they are is, it's a couple of different campaigns where they've got these, kind of manly dudes talking to the camera, and somebody says, "Hey, I'm going to replace your Schlitz with this other brand. Can you do that for me?" And these guys are like, "What? You're going to take my Schlitz? If you're going to take my Schlitz, I'm going to, sick my cougar on you, or I'm going to beat you up because I'm a boxer guy." And to today's standards, I see these things and I'm like, well, I don't know. Would that be the worst ad ever right now? I don't know. If you watch these, and I encourage you to do so, it's kind of odd because first there's a little bit of nostalgia in seeing these videos, but second, it's like, I don't know if they're really that bad. But when you read into the story a little bit more, there's a couple other factors that I think are very important here with this. And I'm kind of digging this up by poking around a little bit on the web, and according to VinePair here and what they've sourced, that right before these ads started coming out, Schlitz made another bad decision. So in the early 70s, to cut production costs and to keep up with demands, the Schlitz folks decided to brew a worse beer. So they started accelerating fermentation. They started replacing malt with corn syrup and using agents to prevent haze in the beer. So they brewed a cheaper, worse beer. Then they hired a marketing company to put out the ads that I just showed you. And the ads were met with bad press. According to a couple different articles I found, they only ran for about 10 weeks. And, the public said these are, if you don't have Schlitz, I'm going to kill you. That's kind of the coined thing I'm picking up. And they pulled the ads after about 10 weeks and continued to lose market share. Another interesting fold in this is I looked up the ads from Budweiser in the 70s. And when you watch these ads, there's a stark difference in the messaging for Budweiser. And they're doing things like, the "This Bud's for You" campaign is going strong. It's much more aspirational. They're associating Budweiser with good times, positivity. They're associating Budweiser with sports. So they've got like boxers. They're sponsoring boxing events, which this one's interesting because it's like, all right, it's definitely, I don't know if this is a pot shot right at Schlitz or what, but, they are sponsoring racing, and they're saying things like, hey, if you're into this cool, fun stuff, then this Bud's for you. And they've got a nice jingle with some of these things. So, like, the opposite side of the message here for Budweiser is, hey, we're talking to you positively, we're associating with positive things. And Schlitz, not that long ago, according to this YouTube, it's 1977. So this is the 77 commercial, and these are kind of the 78, 79 commercials from Budweiser that are just a stark difference here with things. So maybe there's a lesson with marketing message. There's a lesson with product, and when you combine both of those things, and you've made a misstep in both, then no bueno. That ultimately leads to your downfall here, lowering sales, and a few years later, I guess more than a few years later, the beer is totally gone. But apparently you can still get a taste of this. They're brewing their last batch here on the May 23rd, 2026, and then who knows, maybe they'll revitalize it sometime in the future. But thought it was interesting, wanted to share the anecdotes here. And if you did find this interesting, let me know what you think in the comments, and tell us your opinions. If you can get some of that Schlitz, go get it there in the Midwest and maybe save that can. It might become a collector's item.